Good afternoon. As promised, I'm sharing the video on how to download data from World Bank data development indicator dataset and how to perform the assignment that is paper on describing development trends. So if you go on Moodle, you will find the guidelines and guideline indicates that you need to select 2 or 3 countries for analysis. Once you select countries, you need to select one development theme. Some development themes are listed here, or you can look into the World Bank data set as well. I'll show you where. Then you select at least 5 indicators from each theme. So you're working on one theme on 5 indicators and you are comparing data for 2 or 3 countries across those 5 indicators. So you are choosing same 5 indicators for 2 or 3 countries, and you don't need to pick different indicators for different countries. Then you perform the analysis in Excel and then write the paper itself, and you submit both the paper and the Excel file. If you look into the sections here, I indicated the sections in the guideline. Section 1 is overview of development trends in each country. So pretty much in up to from 600 to 800 words, you are summarizing what happened in those countries in the last 10 years. Maybe there were some specific elections that changed everything. Maybe there was a revolution. Maybe there was COVID, obviously. There was the war. So something that happened in that country in the last 10 years. So you are giving snapshot of how country has been developing in the last 10 years. So if you're working on 2 countries, you need or 3 countries, you need to compile all that information for each country, and total words should be up to 800. So it's not for one country, but for 2 or 3 countries, it has to be up to 800 words. So you do that first section. Then the second section is looking at the indicators from the World Bank dataset, and which we will be going now. Doing the analysis and also supplementing the analysis with the information collected from peer-reviewed journals, articles, so from additional sources. So first you are capitalizing on the World Bank dataset and interpreting the results with the help of other peer-reviewed journals and articles. And obviously you are adding graphs and tables too. And in total it's up to 2,700 words. And then you do the conclusion. Conclusion is summarizing the findings and adding up to 7 recommendations in total for all countries how to improve the development in those specific states. And this has to be up to 500 words. So as said, deliverables are a Word file, which includes the graphs itself and minimum 10 graphs or tables. You need to use APA formatting, and then you are also adding an Excel spreadsheet separately. So now let's go to World Bank dataset and let's see what you need to do under that. So if you click this link here, Data World Bank, we end up here. Here, you see here the data bank. We click the data bank, and here it is World Development Indicators. So once you click that World Development Indicators, you end up in that interface. So here, if you click the database, it has to be selected World Development Indicators. If you click database back, then it will roll up. Then country. what I recommend is that you select countries with more or less similar income groups. It can be one country can be from Asia, another country can be from Latin America, for instance, but more or less with the same income level countries, so that when you compare data, you can really make meaningful conclusions. What I recommend is that before starting working, before finding the information about development that in those countries, I suggest first downloading the data from World Bank Indicator Bank, so that you know that the data exists in that specific country or for that specific indicators. Because as I mentioned during the class, not all data is available for all countries. Because World Bank is collecting those data from national statistics offices, and not all countries' national statistics offices have the capacity to collect all the data. Therefore, please first select the country, then indicators, see whether the data is available, data is high quality, and then if you're satisfied with that, you download the Excel file and start working on section 1 and then section 2. So for now, I will randomly select countries just to show you how it is done technically. So country, and then countries here. And just 1 second, where did the countries go? It's just 1 second, it is stuck. So I'll click fail either session, process database. Oh, okay, sorry. Let me open in other in other file. Okay. Yes, so I opened in Google Chrome now, and now it works better. So for data set, we have World Development Indicator. Now for countries. You can click here, filter, and then you can give for instance, upper middle income countries. And then it only gives the upper middle income countries. And then I'll select, for instance, Argentina and Colombia, just for the sake of, just to know how it works. And then maybe Guatemala. And then I click country back so that I can see other parts too, and then series. Here, what you can do, if you click this filter sign here, you can see those key themes: economic policy and debt. Then it goes education and environment, financial sector, gender, health, infrastructure, poverty, private sector. What I suggest, obviously, you focus on one theme, for instance, poverty. And then you can also narrow your focus, for instance, on income distribution, on poverty levels. But be careful, you need to have enough data to interpret it. So for now, I suggest just selecting these bigger themes and see which indicators pop up. So I click this back, and then see you have income share held by fourth 20%, and then income gap at $3.65. $3.65 a day. So, okay, I'll click this one. And then this is poverty gap percentage. And this is also poverty head count. So I'll look at this one too. And then see not many indicators under poverty. And then Gini index. And then maybe then income share held. Let me see, multidimensional poverty headcount, and then UNDP, and then World Bank. And then maybe I can look also in consumption, which means what is the consumption power, how much people spend, what is the power how much consumption power do people have? So which is 40% of population, no, here. So I selected this, and then I click this back, and then it's time. And as I said, I'm now unconsciously selecting just series to show you how it's done. For you, you need to play around with some of the key themes that are interesting for you and see what each indicator measures, so that you have the understanding what data you are collecting. For that, you can also click here metadata once you select everything, and then it gives you what each indicator measures. So for time, I'll just click 10 here, so it shows me for the last 10 years, and then apply changes. See, now if you switch here the countries, you can see that poverty headcount ratio is available only for 2015. Argentina, some of the data is not available, and for Guatemala the same. None of the data is available. See, so I'm gonna go back, and for country, instead of Guatemala, apply change. I'll select Cuba, for instance, apply changes. So let me see, Cuba, see, no data is available because, and then maybe cost. Now I'll go to Brazil, apply. And then if I click here, Brazil, okay, more or less the data is available. So for now, it's sufficient. I'll download it. So if I click here, this is table view. You can look at the chart view, map view, but for now, what I want us to do, live in table view, here you see download options, and then you select as Excel file. So I have it Excel file downloaded, and this is where I end up as an Excel file. One sec. Okay, here we go. So this is my Excel file. For now, it is very messy, right? And it looks not really nice. If you click this metadata sheet, you can see that this is indicator name, this is short definition, this is long definition, and this is source where it is collected from, and this is the topic and unit of measure, which is also very how often it is collected, develop how it is a statistical concept of methodology, what are the limitations, and where are the sources where the data has been collected from. So it gives a very strong metadata information. So for now, I want to design table nicely. So I'll click this one, I select, and then do you see here, this is AB, this is called wrap text, which gives the text, splits the text nicely, and it aligns nicely in the column. So I don't need the series code, so I'll select with a right click, I'll delete. So see, 2023 data is not available yet. So if you look here for series name, I want to see it well. So whilst I'll select the column, I'll still click the wrap text, and then I'll see. You'll see. So I'll select the first one. I'll make it bold so I can know. I know what I am indeed. What it looks like. So the first thing, see, you have this country here, Brazil. So I have Argentina, Colombia, Brazil. First one I want to do, see, so this is a poverty gap, which means, so let's see what it means. Poverty gap, so this means International World Bank is committed to reducing extreme poverty. Database, so the World Bank, World Bank poverty monitoring, they draws on income and detailed consumption data for more than 2,000 households across 169 countries. So it measures, it is percentage, right? Let's see, unit of measure. So it is percentage. So it is percentage of population who live under $3.65 a day. So click data. So I want to see what is the average. So we say that it's 0.7 in Argentina, 0.8, 1.1%, 1.2%, 0.9%. So if I want to see the average, here I'll click average. I'll write average. So it is like equals. You write average, and then you open the bracket, you select everything, you close the bracket and end. So the average for all the years is 0.9. If you click that one and then you see the plus sign, so if you take your mouse to the right side of the cell, right corner of the cell, and you just drag the mouse, you get this is the average for all indicators. So it copies the formula but changes the cells. So you don't need to calculate for each of them separately. But for now, you see that these are two big numbers, like 9.57777. So I'll select this cell, the whole column, and then what I'll do here, this is here 0 zeros, which is decreased decimal. So I'll just decrease the decimal. So this is increase. This is decrease. So I'll increase to like this. So it's at least one digit after the full stop. So this is data itself. This is average. You can also do the pivot tables. So with a plus sign, we can open a new sheet. With the right click, you rename and you say pivot table, and then insert pivot tables, and then you click from table range, and then with that arrow you select all the information that we have. Make sure you don't select any blank cells, meaning like you cannot select like this. You have to select the columns that are actually populated with information. So you click this back and then okay. So this is pivot table is a tool that helps you summarize the information. No matter how big your data set is, it helps you summarize the information in a very short time, pretty much with one click, and also kind of provide the basic snapshot. What is the average? What is the total percentage? So you can do all those calculations in pivot table too. So for instance, I'll give country name for now. So what you do is that you click on the name that you want to use as row, so you take it to the rows. So for now it's like this. For what I can do is also maybe do an average and then take into columns. But see, it's like very strange. So you take average, you put into rows, but you click here, it is sum of average. So what does that mean? What does it summarize? So it doesn't give me a proper information. So what I'm gonna do is that now I'll take series names as column. Let's see. Now I have that information. We can also do the switch, and you take the indicators on the left side, the country on the right side. See, now it's much nicer. And you take average and put in the values. But it now shows sum. If you double click, and if you double click here on values, it says value settings, and then you click average. See, now it gets for each indicator, gives me the average for each country, which is a nice quick tool to represent everything. That's one of them. So I want to use this as a table in my charts, or I wanna instead of country name here, I can take country name as in filters, and then you select Argentina, the Argentina information comes. You select Brazil, Brazil information comes out. If you click Colombia, the Colombia information comes out. If you click all, it's complete, it's total average for all countries for each indicator, which is also nice to do benchmarking or to compare what is the complete total average. For now, I'll take country name back, and then I'll have this one. So you can do similar pivot tables for other information too, but you have to reinsert the pivot table at all the same time. For insert pivot table, and then I do the same here, and click this back. Okay, see, now I can use for instance country name, and then I can write series name here, maybe vice versa, you know, that one, because I have a lot of so country name here, and then 2014 for instance. So instead of count, you can write average, or what is the information for each. So you click here, value field settings, and then you can say what is the minimum, what is the maximum, what is the sum itself, and that way when you click product, it gives me exact same information as it's in the chart. So if you click value settings, product gives me what was Gini index for Argentina in 2014. In 2014, you can take years, then you can take this 50, then you can add 15, and then it gives me the same information. So I'm expecting you to develop like 10 pivot charts, pivot tables here, and maybe one per year. Or one with an average and the rest of them with years, so that we see, so that you can use this information to compile the charts. So data is done, pivot tables are done, and now we can add a plus sign and we can rename and call it charts. So for charts, let's do first chart could be, for instance, we can do, you know, let me insert a new one. So pivot table here, and I'll show you. So here we go. What I'll do is that I'll take series names, then I'll take 14 as values, but instead of values, I'll click product, then 15, then I'll do the same, 16, but you know, it takes here, so I'll take 16 here, 17 here, 18, 19. For instance, you can do like year by year, but for now I can do for all of them. So for instead of product, you can do value. Instead of count, you can do product, and then you will end up with the same numbers. Also, to simplify the task, we could do just look at the data and then insert the chart just like this too. So for instance, charts, insert chart, for instance, it's insert. There are some recommended charts. Because we have not selected the data now, we cannot see what are the recommended charts, but because we are talking about the timeline, let's look at the 2D clustered column, and then if you click on the right side, and see here, it is also chart design, and then there's a format. So of chart design, here's the select data. So here, if you click this plus sign, I can select this one. Okay. See, now it shows that the average average is 0.7, and then this is the name of the indicator. What you can do is delete, and then you can write just like this poverty gap for instance, and then you just write poverty gap. So this is my first chart, but where it is? It is Argentina, right? So poverty gap in Argentina. So here, but now it looks very dull. So what I'll do is I'll delete this. So we need to revise this chart to make it more good looking, more appealing, let's say like that. So if you click chart with the right click, you can do change chart type, save as template, select data. But what I'll do is that I'll select the chart and then see format, and then it is under shape fill. I click no fill, shape outline, no outline, so that when we copy to the Word file, it looks nicer. So we click if you double click the title like this and you go home, then you click bold, you can change to Times New Roman, bold, and then I increase to 14 maybe, and then you can change the color of the text. I'll make dark black. For the text, see, you click, and then it looks like kind of not nice because it's 2021, year 2021. So what I'm gonna do is that on the right side, select data, and then do you see it gives me data? But now I'm gonna click here, edit. Okay, but then on the right side, one second, edit. And then it should give me the possibility what to rename it. This version does not. Okay, that's fine. But what I can do is that select this row, click still change to Times New Roman to 10 to 11, bold, and then make it dark. Looks nicer. Now I have these columns, but I want to change the color on the right. So if you click one of the columns once, every column is selected. So with the right click, first of all, you can click format data series, so you can all the formatting option comes up here. So with the first one, fill, so it says automatic. Now I'll change to maybe red, for instance. If you click back once, each column is selected. With the right click, add data labels, and see now my numbers are added on it. So if I click all the data once, I'll change that to Times New Roman 10 and bold and black. So now it looks much more appealing. So this is my first chart. Now I need my second chart. So I'll click here and then insert chart. Maybe this time we can do, yeah, instead of clustered column, maybe I'll do, to give you some variety. Okay, let's do 2D bar charts. Then on the right click, I'll do select data. I go back to my data, and then what I'll do is that so see here is our, so if I click here only Argentina poverty, then only one information comes up. I can go to pivot table, and then what I can do is that just select Gini index and then select like this. So I have Gini index data for Argentina, Brazil, and Colombia. So okay. Now you will see that I have all these indicators, but I have Gini index, so I can play which one I want to show. If I don't select, then the information does not come up. But for now, so I can see
So this is one country, each of them are one country. So this is one country, this is another, this is Brazil, this is Argentina. So how do I know that, right? So we click, let's first put the chart title. So, and then which year was it? Did we do it? What year was it? Oh, this is the overarching average. So average, this is the overall average. Average per country per indicator. So I click this. So I'll make the same font, which is Times New Roman, bold. Then I'll put it here. The same way, I don't need the, so I click the chart format, no fill, no outline, so it has nothing on it. I can change, so if I select the indicator names, I can click Times New Roman 11, bold and black. Then instead of, I don't like how it shows up here, so I click delete. So you just click once the row and then delete on your keyboard. Now I want data label. So right click, so all the green ones will be selected. With the right click, data labels. You click once to the row, this case, right click, data labels. The same here. I'll select data once, each, then I'll do Times New Roman 11. Bold. Then I'll do the same here. And then bold here. So you see, now what I don't see is that see here, or this is there is a chart options and text options. I want chart options, and then I want size and properties. So it's height, rotation, scale, looks good. Those looks good, the numbers looks good. But if I click and then go to design, you can change some of the designs here too, or format. And then you can format the colors and everything. What I'm trying to do is that select data. Okay, Brazil, Argentina, Colombia. Okay, that's good. So what I'll do is that I'll take this. So I have second chart ready. Now, I'll do a new pivot table that shows per. So let me see. I'll show you what I want to do. So I'll click data. I'll bring still all the data, and then okay. And then what I'll do is that I'll do 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. So instead of count, I need to double click and then do product. So I'll double click value settings, product. For each of them, double click value settings, product. Double click value settings, product. Double click value settings, product. And pretty much for all of them. Value settings, product. Value settings, product. And value settings, product. Okay, I think I have it. Now I want to do a series name here, but I don't want all of them. So what I'll do is that remove field settings and then layout, no, print. Okay. Oh, okay. So for manual filter, and then I'll click this series, take series names in the filter too, so that way I can select which one I want. So if I take series names and put that in the filters, I can select which one I want. And then let's do country code as a row. So see, now I have Argentina, Brasilia, Colombia, and these are series names here. So what I'll do is that I'll filter for Gini index, for instance. So it shows the Gini index data across years for each three. And the next one, if I select the next one, it shows only multidimensional poverty. You can do multiple select, and then if you click multiple select, it does Gini and, for instance, multidimensional poverty. Hang on, poverty headcount. So it shows two of them together. But for now, I want to focus only one. Okay. What I'll do now is, so now I want to insert new chart. I go on my chart sheet, so insert. Charts, and then let's do this time, let's do time series. So let's do this, and then on the right side it is select data, pivot tables, and then here is my data. Okay, but now it shows this country. So see, it's messed up. So on the right side, select data, and then you can see here, switch row to column. It does this way, and then it shows per country too. But it's still not nice. So what I'm gonna do is select chart, select, and then design, change chart type, and then maybe do column chart. But see, it still shows the same way. So on the right click, you select data, you switch, and then see, that's nice. Now I have, so it seems that not all the data is available. And these are the years, but these are, because it's 0.4, not everything is visible. So this chart does not work, so I can just delete it and I'll substitute with the new one. So at the end, you should come up with 10 different charts that can be time series, that can be that can be column, that can be bar chart. So, and then once you submit, and before submitting this Excel file, you click plus, you take this sheet at the very first, and then in the rename, student ID, and then here you write student, and then Maya, for instance, and student ID, and then you write your ID here. And then once you finish, all 10 charts will be on this sheet, pivot tables will be on this one. So I'm asking in total, it should be 10 graphs or tables. So you can just copy some of the tables directly to the Word file, to your report. So it doesn't have to be all charts. It's 10 total combination of graphs of tables. So you click, you open your Word file, you write, these are the headings. So this is title, then it is your name, and then it is like all the styles, API formatting, it's done. Now layout, insert next page. So I'll do, here will be the table of content, and then you click references, table of content, and will generate table of content. Then, for instance, it is section 1. So I want to make section 1 introduction and country context. Country context. I want this one to be indicated as the first level heading in the table of content. So I select styles heading. So in order to change the style, so you see heading on the right, style, modify. So I want Times New Roman 16, and you follow APA formatting guidelines. So for now, I'll just show you that you can modify the heading. So I want this on the center, for instance. That's done. And then if you go back to the table of content and on the right side, see update table, you update, this one automatically pops up in the table of content. You do the same for section 2, section 3. So now we are in section 2, analysis of indicators, and then it's indicate, and then indicator, and then you write 10, like, into the content for 5 different indicators for the countries. This one is also heading 1. And then if I go back here, update, update entire table. So I have section 2 here too. So now I want to copy. You have the text here, then you want to copy the chart. So if you go on Excel file, so for instance, I want to do this one. So click on the right side, copy, do right side, paste. One thing is that you can also delete these grid lines. If you just select one of the grid lines and then delete, it deletes, so it looks nicer. So you inserted that, and if you click this one, with the right side, you can do insert caption. So caption is either figure or table. This is figure, so figure, and then okay, and then figure 1, it is poverty gap in Argentina. Then you write the rest, and then you want to insert table. So for instance, you go to the pivot tables and you want to insert this table. So you copy. So see, but it doesn't look nice. So you click the table on the right side, on the right click with the mouse, out of it to window. It looks nicer, but now it's split. So, and I want these rows to repeat on the next page. So if you click, select those, the rows that you want to be repeated, table, repeat header rows. So now it's like shows on both sides. Now on the right side, click the mouse on the right, with the right, you can click insert caption. This is not figure, this is table. Okay, now it is table. 1 second. So 1 second. So on the right click, insert caption, table. Okay. Oh, okay. So there is table 1. I did not see it, so it wrote here. Table 1. It is indicators for all 3 countries in 2014, for instance. Then you insert, you go ahead and you write next paragraph, and then you want to insert one more chart. Go chart, for instance, this one. You copy, paste it. See, now it's changed the formatting, the colors, or it's the same one. Oh, slightly changed. You can click with the right click, and then you can either keep source formatting or use destination formatting. I'll do keep source formatting. So now I'll delete grid lines too. Now with the right click, you select the figure. With the right click, insert caption. This is not table, right? This is figure. Okay. Now figure 2. This is average per country per indicator. And then you do next. At the end, you go at this top page where you have table of content. And after table of content, you go references, insert table of figures. Do you see table of figures? And then, okay. Now, my figures are all here. See, figure 1, figure 2. Automatically, and then if I update the page numbers at the end, I'll just click update fill and the page numbers will be updated. I can also insert table of tables, insert table of figures, and then see caption label figure, and now it's table. So I change here caption label, it was figure, so it inserted all figures. Now I'll do table. Okay. And then it replaces. Or if you don't want to replace, you'll just insert new one here, and then it inserts both of them. Options, style caption, okay, and then modify, and then you can modify the title, how they're numbered. Sorry, so caption label is table, right? Let's see, like, okay, now it's show, here we go, insert tables, table. So see, it was selected, so it was kind of replacing. Now I need to unselect figures and then select tables, insert tables. So at the end you have a nice document that also has a table of content and list of tables and list of figures. Good luck, and I hope it's helpful.